What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here at the recording. We're going to have a live stream a little bit later this afternoon. I've reached out to the reporter who is releasing information today to ask if they had a ballpark time when they'd be releasing things. I don't know if I'll hear back, but if I do, I'll share that with you indirectly you'll see a stream notification pop up here. So make sure you subscribe and you turn your notifications on. A bevy of whiny Trust and Safety Council members decided that they would get one last grab of clout by quitting on Twitter, only to out yet another very odd nepotistic employee, John Podesta. Remember John Podesta and the Podesta emails and all this kind of stuff? Well, his niece worked there, and guess what department? Trust and Safety. Just like no big deal, small world, having Dr. Fauci's daughter, it's Podesta's niece, not daughter, sorry. It was Fauci's daughter that was also working there. And oh, no big deal. General counsel for the FBI, who left in disgrace after letting his TDS ruin his career, also heading up Trust and Safety. It seems like Trust and Safety was an area to just put any old person, in particular ones with connections to Washington, and put in people with CIA, FBI connections. Yesterday, I reported on a finding by Andy No that a ex-CIA, ex-FBI agent was in a leadership position in Trust and Safety. When this was publicly announced, they tried to change their name on LinkedIn so nobody could find them. Totally normal thing for someone to do, right? And then when that didn't work because Andy had archived it, he deleted it. Definitely not trying to hide anything there at all. So Ann Collier put this out, gets demolished, of course. 3 of us resigned from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council today. Elon and Leslie Podesta. Leslie Podesta values journalism, cares about politics, live sports, music, and tragic feminist, and says they're funny. Social impact stuff, team player, LGBTQ. Isn't it funny? Well, it seems like there's a disproportionate amount of LGBTQ members at Twitter, like just from society cross-section. But 3 of us have resigned, and they put out this post. Again, all these people seemingly well-connected with people in Washington. We are announcing a resignation from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council because it's clear from research evidence that, contrary to the claims by Elon Musk, the safety and well-being of Twitter's users are on the decline. The question has been on our minds. Should Musk be allowed to define digital safety, as he has no freedom of expression? Our answer is a categorical no. These people have EDS. These people have been members of Trust and Safety since its inception. In 2016, Elon was the first female representative from Asia, don't care, and had served on the council as it... Oh, I forgot I have these notifications on for the live stream. Oops. So there's that. So they have members of Trust and Safety Council since inception, blah, blah, blah. We know that even after resignations and dismissals of thousands of employees, by the way, buy some Coffee Brand coffee. Promo code The Quartering saves today. You just saw someone bought a gift box and some blueberry cobbler. It's going to be great. It will save your Christmas. It makes a great Christmas gift. And if you show up with some hot cocoa and a gallon of milk at your Christmas party, I promise you, it'll be a huge hit. We know that even after the resignations and dismissals of thousands of employees, there are people working at Twitter who care about reducing hate speech and protecting users on the platform. Okay, what happens to the very first reply? They get BTFO'd by Cernovich. They tried to say, oh, we're protecting kids, blah, 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 except you were not. Twitter refused to remove CP because it didn't violate their terms of service. Like, that's hilarious. Oh, looks like a fun little spree of notifications there. Fun stuff. It's a crime they refuse to take action on the stuff that targeted the most vulnerable people on Earth for years. Isn't that curious? These people are stumping about how they protected kids, except they didn't. Because Twitter refused to remove these images because they didn't violate terms of service. Heidi Bryanus? Sorry, Heidi, I know we follow each other, but I don't know how to say your last name. So you did nothing about CSE. And that's the exploitation stuff. And now that something's being done, you're mad because the person didn't have the, quote, right qualifications to make those calls? Good riddance. You three were worse than useless. Agreed. Nobody gives a frick. You weren't doing a very good job. Twitter refused to remove CP because it didn't violate policies. Lawsuit. They were sued over it by the people who were unfortunately pictured in those images. Libs of TikTok, okay, goodbye. I wonder if that Podesta is any relation to a Podesta we all know should probably be investigated on related matters. Yes, it is. Donut operator, good riddance. Luke Rudkowski, is it because he's finally going after it? Boy, isn't that what it looks like? It's like, oh, he's finally going after this stuff, so now we're going to quit? That seems odd, right? Nicholas Forticaro says, you were all proven to be untrustworthy. Noam Blum, shame to lose such an ideologically diverse bunch. Just no, I mean, learn to code. I mean, it's hilarious to me that these people keep thinking that they're the ones that are saving the country. Brutal, 22,000 comments to 21,000 likes. Was it worth it? Seems like all these people are so well paid that it doesn't matter. You have this moron, Keith Olbermann. It's time for Senate hearings into what scheme Elon Musk is up to, what foreign influence is involved, and what could be done to remove this public medium from his malign control. Seems like, here's Alex. Shout out to Alex. Follow Alex if you don't. Keith, if you're so triggered by what Elon is saying, maybe you should unfollow him, mute him, or block him. It's really not that difficult. And it's easier than having Senate hearings for all of them to tell you to do the same thing. I mean, the fact that you see here, Sour Patch Lids, FYI, Leslie Podesta resigning is listed in the tweet from Twitter, is John Podesta's niece, Democrat Deputy Chief of Staff. Elon Musk, small world. That's the exact same thing he said about Fauci's daughter. Isn't that interesting? All these people ended up working at Twitter. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, right? A member of Twitter's Trust and Safety Council explains why she got fed up and quit. It's been a horrible day for me, speaking with me on the phone just hours after resigning from an advisory role she'd held at Twitter for 7 years. This was a very tough decision to make. The cuts and sweeping changes Elon Musk has made at Twitter since taking over have led to a small but important corner of the social network to make some changes of its own. Abdul Rahman, I don't know, Rahman, that's probably not how it's pronounced, and 2 other members of the company's Trust and Safety Council quit on Thursday, alleging that Twitter's new leadership has shut it out. That's actually not true. We saw a tweet yesterday where Elon called out specifically somebody who he tagged somebody when he was calling out, I don't know if you caught this, but when Jack tried to pretend that he was working on them, like he was working, here's Ella Irwin, right? I wish this was false, but so here Elon says, Jack says, Cerniver says you all belong in jail. Jack says this is false, saying that they failed to take action. And Ela Irwin, who is the person in charge, says, I wish this was false, but in my experience, this year supports this. I fought hard to get funding to replace the people who were working on this, who left in early 2022, and was told no. At one point, there were 0 engineers and very few employees working on protecting kids and still no funding. Elon Musk says, correct. Just completely BTFO'd. Completely. And Jack says, at what point was that? What do you mean at what point was that? Like, you don't even know? Were you not paying attention inside your own company? Here's Alex. Just take the L, man. It's pretty clear that employees at Twitter prioritized actioning political content and suspending users for their views over removing illegal content. The details in this thread are inexcusable. How the old Twitter failed against the fight against CSE, content psi, and more. I mean, while I'm working as an independent researcher alongside Twitter's trust and safety team led by Ella Irwin and passionate managers like Jared Doherty, I want to share some information and updates for y'all. So here we go. Twitter is continuing its operations against accounts that publish terrible things. As I said, Twitter focused on Spanish-speaking and Portuguese-speaking users in past days, reduced over 90% of the impact of these malicious accounts that use particular keywords and hashtags. Furthermore, Twitter is working on the following: a report from Eliza Blue, will make it easier. And goes all the way through and says, Elon is constantly updated. Hey, chocolate covered beans. There you go. Update about the progress 2 days ago. He authorized additional measures to fight this kind of thing. Old management had other priorities, but for new Twitter, children's safety is number one. Elon also roasted the other guy that used to be in charge of it for spending millions of dollars on buying Golden State Warrior tickets as opposed to, paying attention to fighting this kind of stuff on Twitter. Like, these people are all gross. And it's like the left-wing media that keeps saying that, oh, this is a total nothing burger. It's even worse. Like, it's literally even worse. It's frustrating to me. You can see at the same time, Ned, who's a CEO, was spending millions of dollars on Golden State Warrior seats. That's a basketball team. Super messed up priorities. Like, Elon is not having any problem calling these people out. The media, they can continue to ignore it all they want. I'll be right here covering it. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe. And if you are subscribed, make sure you have notifications on, set to all videos or all notifications or whatever. We'll be live streaming a little bit later this afternoon, covering if there's any new potential leaks. We know there will be. It's just a matter of if I'll be around when they drop. I'm going to try to, but at some point, I can't work every day of the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.